Quack, 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 quack.
Oh yeah. It doesn't get old. As the only undefeated FBS team, by the way. That's right. Damn right.
Why do we gotta listen to that crap? No one cares about Oregon.
You know what, Austin? Go. No, all right. I booted Austin already.
Bye, Austin.
Damn it. How dare you,
Damn.
Jackson?
Poor Austin. He didn't last long.
How are you doing, everyone? Welcome into the Voice of College Football After Dark. Yeah. That kind of runs together weirdly. Yeah. How's everyone doing tonight?
Doing great. How are you doing tonight, man?
Fan-fucking-tastic.
What's your damn
quack?
You get two F-bombs on a show, remember. So you already wasted one.
If you're gonna use one, use the next one.
Austin,
use it wisely.
Used his whole thing because he can't figure out how to turn his mic back on.
It's true. Well, as we get into this, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Obviously, this was I thought this was going to be a chill weekend, but this turned into just one hell of a chaotic weekend all around college football. So,
welcome to the 6-hour edition of College Football After Dark.
I will boot you off the show so fast.
All right, Austin.
As by ritual, not because we're a cult or anything, but by ritual, please, one by one, please tell people can stalk you online if they choose to.
Well, I mean, they can stalk me online on Jackson Johnson 979 on YouTube, where I'm 113 subs away from the magic number 500. They can stalk me on Jackson VOCFB on X and on Instagram and Threads at Jackson Johnson 543908. And they can also stalk me online on Alabama The Voice College Football Mondays at 5 p.m. Central Time. And on Thursdays, usually at 9 p.m. Central Time. But this Wednesday, they can stalk me on the 8th edition of the Call-In Show with my co-host, Jeffrey at Only Talk Sports. And, of course, we've got a special show for Hate Week, the 2024 edition of the Iron Bowl, where Johnny Burtz and I will be having Stephen M. Smith, the editor of Touchdown Alabama, who has not only been on the Paul Feinbaum show quite a lot over the last 5 years as a guest, but a very good friend of the Voice of College Football Network. And another good friend of the Voice of College Football Network is the Auburn equivalent of Corey Brada, Kyle Loomis, the creator of E2C Network, as we'll be going over the preview and prediction of the Iron Bowl and our top 5 favorite Iron Bowl matchups of all time. Let me tell you, it'll be a wild one. Spaz, where can they stalk you, my friend?
They could stalk me all over the place. I am on X, Sean_SpazDrag. Also on Instagram is Rocky Classic and TikTok Sean Bryant 75. You could mostly, not a lot on TikTok, but mostly you can find me on my Instagram occasionally and definitely on X, a lot on X. And also on Wednesday nights, occasionally Tuesday, depending on our schedules with Mr. Ben up there on the Voice of College Football Oregon channel, MarkRogersTV. Come find us.
Repping the number 1 team and only undefeated team, remember.
That's the only good thing about Oregon is you're all show. Oregon, other than that, is crap.
All right, Louisville. I'm about to put your ass out of here again.
Man, that guy just, who is this guy?
Oh,
you
my God.
You have one good week and you come in all chesty. A week after you lose Stanford.
Excuse me, gentlemen. We beat Clemson, who could possibly be playing for the ACC title. Know your role, Sean. Know your role. Ohio State never done nothing.
My role is to give Louisville fans all the shit they can handle. That's specifically what they hired me for here.
We didn't hire you.
Yeah, Brandon, go to bed.
What?
Yeah, we didn't hire you at all. This is a volunteer job. What are you doing?
Wait.
But yeah.
Wait a minute. Why do the checks keep coming in then? Shit.
But if they want to stalk me, they can find me on Sports Talk with Austin 2002 here on YouTube. They can find me on X. And this week, I have a special edition on Tuesday night with my good buddy, partner in crime, Jackson up top, because it's Thanksgiving week. And we don't want to have to work on Thanksgiving. So we're going to do our picks and analysis show on Tuesday. So be there. And yes, we're going to pick Oregon, Washington. And we're going to pick the upset because y'all suck. Shoot. But yeah, that's where y'all can find me. I love you guys anyway, so it's all love, Ben.
It's time for basketball season, isn't it, Austin?
That's Kentucky's issue.
Oh,
Sean Garner, where can they stalk you?
Okay, you can stalk me on the Elon network, whatever you want to call it. And you can also follow me on Blue Sky. Just create an account there. Jackson's dropping the links to both of those.
oh.
Otherwise, you can catch me every week here on the After Dark Network and on a few of the various shows around town. And yeah, that's about it. And hopefully you can find me celebrating on the streets of Grand Rapids next week following our beatdown of the Wolverines. And hopefully you won't see me getting into any fights with any of the local Wolverine slaps. But they've mostly retreated this year, so they're not there. You know, you don't see
in our show.
You don't see nearly as many of those ugly yellow block M's around town this year. For some reason, I don't really know what happened. It's just not. There just aren't nearly as many of them.
Have you noticed any of them hardly on the Voice of College Football? I sure haven't either down here on Sunday night.
No.
They were in
on
here in
vacation.
droves.
They get like 5,000 viewers to their post-game parties where they can all cry together, and then otherwise they're absent.
What was it, a 22-hour show last week, I heard?
Oh, I don't know what it was. I woke up at like 4 a.m. last night, and I saw they were still going.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I saw the post. There's like time to go to bed. It was like 6 a.m. I'm like, wait, you were still live? What in the hell? I apologize to the chat. I'm not laughing at Sean. I'm laughing at the chat. I say cult, and immediately, I have to highlight some of these. I have to. I'm sorry. just like dying over here. You people are ridiculous. There was a couple other good ones I saw, but now it's kind of buried. Oh man, you people are terrible, terrible, terrible people.
Ben,
right.
where can they stalk you?
YouTube and other shit. You know, whatever. I don't care. I don't care. The Oregon channel mostly. The Oregon channel mostly was Spaz whenever we decide to show up. All right. Well, let's rip off the Band-Aid. I'm sorry. This week one was way more fun than I thought it would be, football wise. Obviously, Ohio State, Indiana was like the premier kind of game everyone was looking forward to, but let's just go right to where it matters. What the fuck, SEC? I went to watch a movie. I went to watch a movie instead of Alabama, Oklahoma. I had it on and I put it on mute. And I went to watch a movie in the other room was Sam. And I went to sleep. And then I woke up like at 1 a.m. and I was like, well, let me see what the scores were like. And I was just like, what the absolute hell happened in that freaking conference?
You missed a crazy day of football yesterday.
That's what I mean. I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Well, luckily, Ben, you're not the only one that picked a bad time to be watching a movie. Apparently, my dad was watching some Netflix thing or whatever it's called Emily in Paris with my mama, and he was missing out on Auburn, Texas A&M. And I was telling mama today before I got my haircut, I was like, he missed out on a good game in Jordan Hare.
Yeah, how about this? Texas A&M loses to lowly Auburn, and they still control their own destiny for the SEC title game.
That's
All they have to do is
crazy.
beat Texas and they're in.
That is
Which-
so crazy.
That's
Which-
Texas
which-
A&M
which-
in a nutshell.
But I mean, like, it is possible that A&M could make the SEC title game and not make the playoffs.
So,
We have been talking about that. Like, making the SEC championship game does not guarantee you a spot in the playoffs.
Well, yeah.
I
No,
was
if they lose,
hearing-
that's their fourth
I was
loss. They're
hearing-
done.
Yeah, I remember watching that Alabama Mercer game. I was talking a little bit about last week where I heard the broadcasters of that game while Alabama was about to score a touchdown or something. And one of the broadcasters was saying, just because you shouldn't get left out of the playoffs if you're in the SEC title game, which that tells me right there, then and there, somebody is going to get a screw job. We don't know who's getting screwed.
Well, and that's a good point. Let's start there. Then let's start there. The one of the chaos. But let me touch Dave here. Indiana needs to send Christmas cards to Florida, Auburn, Oklahoma, and Kansas. That is true. that is true.
It is 100% fact.
And Arizona
You know-
State. Arizona State
And
should have been
Arizona
added.
State,
There,
yeah, it should be included in there, Dave, as well.
I don't. I think Arizona State still needs to win the Big 12 title to get in.
That is
You know-
true. That is true. I think in a way that is true. But
Yeah.
Shout out Arizona State.
But Indiana is basically in because of all the chaos that happened
I
yesterday.
don't see that horse dung about Indiana's not going to be in. Indiana shouldn't be in. It's like, no, all Indiana has to do is wipe Purdue off the face of the earth, and they're good to go.
Everyone wipes Purdue off the face of the earth. Everyone.
See, here's the thing that I think we need to put in proper context. Indiana's still not eliminated from the Big Ten title picture because what if
True.
Ohio State loses next week?
Well, they need both Ohio State and Penn State to lose. That's
Penn State's not
very,
going to
very.
lose to 1 and
That's-
10 Purdue, so.
Yeah, because that's what our buddy.
No, that's Indiana. Who's Penn
Indiana. Indiana needs Penn State and Ohio State to lose next Saturday. That's what our buddy Bill Bender from the Sporting News points out perfectly.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Big Ten, bring it on. Oregon doesn't care. This is our conference, and you're allowed to play in it these days. We don't care.
Here's the thing: if it's Ohio State, Oregon again, personally, I think Ohio State's going to get you all again. It's hard to beat Ohio State for a second time. It's just hard to beat a team twice.
Well, you're probably going to have to play that team regardless of who wins a third time in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's just a matter of whether it's in the semifinals or the finals.
No, those two teams, just assuming they both take care of business next week, are going to be 1-5 in the playoff rankings. There's no other way about it. One will be 1, the other will be 5.
If Ohio State loses, they could end up being 6, and that puts them on the other side.
I honestly don't see how.
But Ohio State.
That's the only way.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, they go on the bracket, and we face each other in the semis.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, Ohio State loses to Michigan next Saturday. like they're still
They
in
might
the
not make the college football.
They will.
they'll be in the
will.
playoffs due to the chaos. I really,
They will. Come
yeah.
on, Spaz. Don't be ridiculous. Spaz.
2 top 5 victories at 10-2. Yeah, they would be in for sure.
Don't be ridiculous, Spaz.
I know. I'm just.
But plus, if they lost
Poking
next
fun.
week, they couldn't lose in they couldn't take another loss in the championship game. So,
All right.
But
No, 'cause they wouldn't be in it.
All right, you freaking nuts. I saved an F-bomb for later. Let's talk about this because we just brought it up earlier, and I don't want to get off the topic of the show because there's so much to unpack, which helps, again, like we just said, all the controversy and chaos.
Back to the SEC.
What in the absolute hell, Texas A&M? You have a clear shot. You're one of the best teams in the SEC, allegedly. And
Allegedly.
four overtimes to Auburn. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Auburn's a dumpster fire.
They're
This
like
is what
That was
They
a
had to come
21-0 game. I thought it was over. And then I thought, oh shit, A&M's gonna take it again. They're gonna take it back and steal it. And then
last thing
somehow
you got-
Auburn forced overtime.
Yeah, don't ever turn the games off, even when you think it's a. If it's like a double digit lead with 4 minutes left in game, okay, fine. But if it's a game you know you're going to talk about the next day or 2 days from now, don't ever turn it off. Don't ever turn that game off.
here's the thing worth mentioning with Auburn. They have an effort issue because they're playing Texas A&M. They play Alabama. They play these teams tough, but when they play the teams that we know they should beat, like Cal, they're like, I don't want to show up today. If Auburn just plays consistently good football, they could go 9-3 every year. Let's not kid ourselves. They have an effort issue.
I think one of the biggest issues I had with the day was was A&M looking ahead at Texas next week? Because that's the first time A&M has played Texas in 12 years?
13 years, 2011
okay.
on Thanksgiving.
And I will say this. Mike Elko did get slipped earlier in the week in his press conference. And then they ended up going out and doing that last night.
I mean,
just saying, Elko doing Elko things, looking ahead.
Well, in all fairness, though, I would hate to be that wide receiver or tight end that dropped that pass in the fourth overtime because it was there, right in his hands to tie it, and he just dropped it.
Man.
I would hate to be that guy. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
The mental impact, just like
A&M sucks. That's the thing. It's just like, my God, like they're like a rich man's Nebraska.
Yep.
Don't disparage Nebraska. They've had a rough road.
Well, I mean, well, at some point we won't be referring to Nebraska in a bad light with the way things are going with Matt Rule.
It's true. That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, A&M just blew it against Auburn, and Auburn got a huge win against a ranked opponent. And I kind of feel like Hugh Freeze put the fire extinguisher out on any hot seat talk for the time being, but that all depends on the Iron Bowl next week.
I'll tell you one team who probably feels like they've kind of blown their chance this year is South Carolina. That team looks pretty damn tough right now.
Yeah, see, that's a thing with right now. That's why it's so hard to pinpoint because you got South Carolina, who's like a thorn in everyone's side, same as Vanderbilt. Like they're like legitimate, like just we're gonna punch you in the gut and just steal your pride away. Adam, I don't know if you forgot how to rhyme or if he's doing some fancy things. I don't remember this anymore, but I do appreciate we appreciate the super chat. But listen, I do not have a face for radio. I am pretty enough at nearly 50. Now where's Jeffrey? It's like now where is the teenager Jeffrey? Where is he?
Indiana is in hiding. They went back to their caves for the next 50 years till they're relevant again.
We do want to get to.
We had a lengthy discussion on one of the Alabama shows where Adam called in, where we discussed his stylist psychiatrist. Right? Remember that, Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He goes to a psychiatrist that doubles as a hairdresser.
No, man.
And that's his. He gets his therapy and his quaff in the same session.
Yeah. And I do want to get to.
It's an only in New York kind of thing.
Yeah. And I want to get to Indiana, Ohio State. Obviously, there's a lot of games to cover from yesterday. A lot of games. So, but again, I think one of the biggest traumas were, if I had to say it, maybe I'm crazy. Obviously, A&M took a hit on the nose. The winner of the SEC yesterday was Billy Napier. Mr. Florida saying, "Hey, we're keeping him," and everyone laughing about it. And then Billy Napier going, "Watch, watch,
Look what I do."
2 weeks in a row, Billy Napier getting wins over ranked teams in the SEC.
First time since 2018 that Florida has had back-to-back wins over ranked teams.
And they're about to bury Florida State in rivalry week here, and they're going to be 7-5.
Yeah, they could finish the season 8-5.
Yeah, no one had 8 wins on their bingo card for Florida this year at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I think that's like the legitimate winner of the week was Florida and Billy Napier. And I tuned into that game late because I was watching a bunch of other shit, and I was like, "What in the hell is happening?" And I tuned in right as Jackson Dart threw the what should have been the second game-ending pick, but it was ruled incomplete, which was the correct call. And he was on the sideline crying, and I'm like, "What is with Ole Miss quarterbacks and crying?" Then he goes back out and immediately throws an interception. I was like, "You got to be shitting me right now." It's so bad.
Well, he's a young man. He'll get over that easily getting overly emotional trend. He'll get over that. But he did overthrow. He was just a disaster in the fourth quarter. Like, my God, 2 interceptions. Oh, my God.
That one interception in the end zone, that was about one of the worst throws I've ever seen in my life.
That was bad.
I mean, there were 3 Florida defenders right there, and like all of them closer to the ball than any Mississippi player. He had this. He right before he threw a second interception, Florida dropped another interception. So he was just all over the place. He was not good late down the stretch there.
So when does Ole Miss finally start going, "Hey, we got over the hump. We beat Georgia in a pretty dominant looking way."
Oh, very dominant. They kicked their ass.
Then you lose to a pretty average, I'd say, Florida team.
Yep.
Is it overlooking things, or is it? There's a comment I highlighted, and we're going to bring it up later here in a minute. But is it just are these teams being overrated in a way?
No, it's just it's the thing that people have talked about for years, and now it's exactly why the SEC guys are the way they are, because for years they've always said we beat up on each other, we choke each other out, and that's why we deserve to be in the playoffs or the BCS or whatever. You'll always have those SEC schools that say, oh, well, we should have got in with 2 losses. Now it's, oh, we should have got in with 3 losses because we play in the toughest conference. We have the toughest schedules. Blah, de, blah, de, blah, de, blah. I've been listening to it for 2 years straight. And it
That's
drives
all?
me nuts.
Only 2 years? What are you? You're not a football fan. Get the fuck out of here.
Well,
Spaz.
I'm just saying, hardcore the last couple of years since I started getting more into these. Yep. Big Ten's just bad in some levels. Ohio State's, Michigan's, but it's not every team in the Big Ten, because in the SEC they all think they're top of the food chain. Every one of them. Except for Vanderbilt.
I'll say this right now. You look at Ole Miss's results; they don't make any sense at all. I think the 2 best teams they played this year are South Carolina and Georgia, and they whipped the crap out of both of them. They beat them down. They've got about 6 defensive linemen that will probably play in the NFL. Here, I mean, they've got dudes on top of dudes on defense right there. Their defense should be one of the top few in the country, but they're not. I mean, like, they're not consistent, and this has been a theme with Lane Kiffin teams through the years. I just don't think they're mentally tough enough. I just don't think that they're solid. I think they're not mature, and they don't treat every opponent with the respect that they deserve. And this is what happens. You end up losing to Kentucky and Florida when you.
Ole Miss is the SEC's version of Mario and Lane Kiffin.
Hey, don't get Ben too excited here, all right?
Are the equivalent of Mario Cristobal and the ACC.
This is ruthless. Mark would never highlight comments like this, but Jason, I love you. Jackson, we're talking still Florida Ole Miss, but what the hell is going on? Like, I mean,
Crimson Tide. Well, what Alabama has is a failure to
just skipped Ole Miss completely.
Yeah, no, he just like bypassed Florida Ole Miss
and
just went
piss.
He was like, Alabama.
But in all seriousness, like the Ole Miss game, like Ole Miss, they always fall short. Like Austin warned me about how they're always falling apart the week after they get a big win. They always do this.
They had a bye week this week, though. And they still can put it together.
Yeah.
Ooh. Matt Ritson. I see that super chat. I'm gonna pull it back up. I kind of want to keep the flow of the show here for a second, but Ole Miss just god awful look year after year after year. They were in the driver's seat. All they had to do was win, beat lowly Florida, and you're in great shape. Same with Alabama. All you have to do is go kick the shit out of a ass Oklahoma team, and Alabama is able to manage 3 points on their opening drive.
Their top 5 receivers out.
Who needs receivers when you can just run the wishbone, the veer? It's the second time this season that Alabama just faces a team that says we're just going to run a high school offense from 1975, and let's see what you do.
Jackson Arnold, dude, that man knows how to run some of those plays. Though I was like, I look back at it, and I was like, oh damn.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what the rankings are going to look like on Tuesday. But I can tell you right now, there's going to be a team or two that you definitely don't think should be in the top 12 that will be in the top 12.
Oh yeah. Oh, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, I mean, let's take some inventory. We had 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I guess only 3 teams in the top 12 lost, but A&M was BYU was 14, A&M was 15, Colorado was 16. So there's not even a lot of teams to ascend to replace the teams that lost.
Yeah.
So in
Yeah,
theory,
so-
in theory, up until last night, half of the teams that a lot of people were projecting to be in the college football 12-team playoff, half of them lost yesterday.
Well, yeah, I mean, like a lot. Yeah, there was a lot of turmoil. Yesterday was definitely sort of the
2007, baby.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about. Indiana.
Yep.
If there weren't those upsets, they would be in jeopardy. I don't think they're in jeopardy at all now.
Oh,
Not now, no.
I don't think Indiana is ever in jeopardy to begin with, because I think all Indiana really has to do is smack Purdue off the earth. They're fine. I mean, that should be a cinch. I think the teams in the Big Ten and the SEC are not going to get screwed over. It's the teams in the ACC that you got to watch out for.
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting, I don't know how predictive exactly the AP poll is of what the CFP is going to do, but Alabama's still lurking there at number 13.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got Boise there in the top 12. So basically you need to get to number 12.
Well, I have to call bullshit too on the rankings. Once again, we're still seeing it. You're seeing a little, maybe less of it, but again, after Missouri basically is blown out, shut out basically twice, how are they still fucking ranked? I'm sorry. There's my 2 F-bombs for the night. I might give a 3rd or 4th just because I care. But yeah, conspiracy theory is Justin Hardy says Venables had the play signals. I don't know about that, but yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Well, and as for Oklahoma, they needed this win badly because their bowl streak was at stake. The last time they missed a bowl game was 1998 in the John Blake era. And I talked a little bit about this with Jeffrey last night, and I know I talked about it with you last night, Austin. The 2010 Clemson season. Anybody remember that year?
2010.
Yeah,
I don't remember this. God, 2010. That was after CJ Spiller, right? That was like the year after.
Yeah, Clemson went 6-6. They lost in the Mikey Car Care Bowl against South Florida that year. And this year, Oklahoma is looking like they're either going to finish at 6-6, 7-5, maybe 8-5, or 7-6. We don't know. We don't know how Oklahoma's going to react. If they're going to let the Alabama game go to their heads, or if they're going to carry on momentum from this Alabama victory that they needed this Saturday. And everybody was saying, Brent Venables needs to be fired. Brent Venables needs to be dragged out. He needs to be thrown out like a worn-out condom. I'm thinking
Jackson.
maybe. Well, it is after dark.
Jesus, that caught me off guard.
I mean, it's after dark, so it's kind of like an HBO version of college football.
God damn.
I like this
We're
version
going
of
to
Jackson.
I love it.
I love it.
Well, yeah, because but anyway.
Spaz doesn't relate because he never throws them out. So
reuses.
yeah.
They're not recyclable people. That's not true. Don't believe that.
Hey,
Michael Smith, you're gonna have to wait
they
for
do it
more
differently up there in
spicy
Eugene. What can I say?
But
Oh, we
you'll
just
have to
got
wait.
sidetracked.
Yeah, you'll have to wait more for Spicy Jacko, Michael Smith. But anyway, so a lot of people were down on Dabo Sweeney after 2010. And the Clemson athletic director decided, you know what?
I gotta step away. I gotta step away for a moment. You're killing me over here. I gotta step away.
Oh man.
Turn the chat off. I can't do
Oh man.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Well, I mean, that's how fans have acted. They acted like they're gonna throw out Venables like a worn out condom. So I mean, that's just a no. You can't do that. But yeah, but yeah, the question is, do we see Oklahoma sticking around with Brent Venables and continuing on with the momentum, or is this just a one-off night for the Sooners?
I mean, he could. Yeah, I think they'll keep him around at least for another year. Now, if Jackson Arnold goes into the portal, he's in trouble because you threw Dylan Gabriel away because you had all this faith that this kid you recruited was going to come in and just shock the world, and it bit you in the ass. So if he leaves, you're in trouble. If you don't have anything to back it up.
Do you think there's any chance they keep both him and Hawkins this offseason?
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. One of them's probably leaving.
Yeah.
And if it's Arnold, you're going to have some questions being asked. Just like the only thing that's is going to save Lincoln Riley right now is the fact he got Longstreet. Because last week when Moss was basically telling him he was leaving the team, which he did, and he was going to go enter the portal at the end of the season, people were calling for Lincoln Riley's head even more. But then he got Longstreet to flip, and that might have saved his ass, at least for another year.
Yeah.
But that's where Venables is at. If Jackson Arnold leaves after all this praise, and they didn't think Dylan Gabriel was going to be able to get his system to where it needed, well, you took a downslide, son.
Yeah.
And that
I think Sharon Moore with his huge flip this week, he basically saved himself till 2026. I think he's going to get.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to move on from him next year, no matter how Michigan does.
Yeah.
No.
They're going to.
Yeah.
He's going to. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like the reason why I compare Brent Venables and Dabo Sweeney together, because like they seem similar in a lot of ways. Because it's like Dabo was on that hot seat going into 2011. We could very well see Brent Venables still on that hot seat going into 2025.
Oh, yeah, I think he'll be on the hot seat.
Yeah.
If they start out shitty, or if he doesn't get, a big, especially if both Hawkins and Jackson Arnold decide they want to go somewhere else, then he's in big trouble.
I don't think he's the guy. I don't think he's invested enough. This is a guy who basically, it seemed like never wanted to be a head coach. Kind of knew what that life entailed and kind of enjoyed. I mean, he could have taken a Power 5 job so much earlier than he did.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have been a head coach 12 to 15 years a go. I mean, like it's not, you know, and to me, you can't be half-assed as a head coach in the SEC. Like you've got to be insanely driven to run a program of that caliber. And I don't think he's the guy, and it's no slight on him as a person. I wouldn't have it in me to run a program like that. I don't have that kind of insane, kind of competitive streak in me to do what a big time college coach needs to do. But, I mean, like I just don't think he's the guy for a lot of different reasons. He might be the best. He's one of the top 5 defensive coaches in America, and that's probably just where he should be at an elite program running a phenomenal defense.
Well, and I remember the news. And this was like a little bit after I got done doing Oklahoma Week for Crimson Tide Live this Monday with John Hoover, Parker Thune, and Preston Gant and Eric Cooper, where we found the news that Brent Venable's wife was diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
And as Breakaway 34 points out, that's got to be a lot for any man to handle.
Yeah. Well, no question. Absolutely. It's a lot.
I think somebody saw what Brent Venables was going through, and they're like, you know what? You've been punished enough. We're going to give you some wins. They need some. We're praying for him.
Hey, Dan Lanning went through it with his wife a few years back.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I know that Dan Lane
right after they got to Eugene, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. He's also will come back, folks. Don't you worry.
Where's Jeffrey?
Yeah, you'll get the cute puppy to balance out our ugly mugs here. So
we want the teenager. We want the teenager.
God damn it, Spaz. He's busy. Don't be bugging him.
Wait, Spaz, is that a violation of your PPO saying that?
Oh,
God. Yeah, I know, right? Guess I should rephrase that.
Don't make me call the court. Called the Clackamas County or wherever.
All right. Gentlemen. What else have we noticed from the SEC this week?
The championship race is completely clear now. We were talking about this maybe being the most chaotic championship race, and now Georgia is in 100%, and they will play the winner of Texas and Texas A&M. So even with a terrible loss this week, A&M completely in control of their own destiny, and possibly we could see an A&M Georgia or a Texas Georgia championship, and I'm down for either one of those. I think they could
whoop that bitch's ass, Adam.
So
secretly pulling for A&M to win, because that would create a whole lot of seeding confusion.
Oh, fuck that. No. No.
F-bomb alert. F-bomb alert.
Hey, that was my 2.
Okay, cool. Sorry, where are you guys?
I don't.
I had to walk away.
Yeah, but I've already used my GD already.
Yeah, I had to walk away. That was you guys. You and the chat. You're disgusting, by the way, chat. I love it. Absolutely love it. Where are we at right now?
Yeah, we were going to the part where Texas played Kentucky this Saturday, and Quinn Ewers got hurt.
Oh yeah. That's.
Oh yeah. So that means Texas is eliminated now because they don't have their starting quarterback.
Not necessarily.
That's what some people were.
I saw that.
Yeah, you saw that too.
Yeah. There's a slight difference between Arch Manning and Brock Glenn.
Just a little bit.
Just a tiny.
Brockland was third
Eliminated.
string, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah.
Wait, he
so
was.
That's what I want to know.
Who was? I'm trying to remember who was the backup at FSU who is in concussion protocol.
That was
week.
Glenn, I do believe, was their backup.
No.
No.
Glenn. There was a guy. I can't remember, and I don't think I've heard from him this year at all. Chat, help me out.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either. I think he was in for literally one game, and
He
then
was in for that Florida game. Yeah, and then he entered. He got concussed in the Florida game. Could not play.
God, I have no idea. That's
God.
so illegitimate. He was.
I think Texas is I don't know where that statement came from that Texas is eliminated from the playoff. They're 10-1.
He's making fun of Florida State last year for going undefeated.
Because there were some people saying that horse dung, and I thought to myself,
Texas still has Arch Manning, so I think they're going to be okay.
I honestly, I'm not even going to lie. I think it's an upgrade for yours, isn't it? I think Manning's a better quarterback.
Wasn't
Rodemaker. Yes, that was it. Rodemaker. Take Rodemaker.
No, he was the third string. Wasn't Glenn Beck?
Glenn
Beck. Wasn't Rodemaker the first string?
Rodemaker was the guy who replaced Jordan Travis last year, and then Brock Glenn came in and basically did nothing in the championship game. Basically threw for 50 yards and they won.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out Louisville. You lost to a team with no quarterback. Sorry, Austin.
Yeah.
And then you lost to a USC team that ran off their starting quarterback. So
yeah. I want to do a little ABP on Tate Rodemaker. See what he is up to here.
I have no idea.
Southern Miss.
Oh, okay. Right. Transferred out. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I want to I do want to touch upon it. I don't want it to go too far down the line. I want to get to Matt Ritson's super chat he gave us. But I do want to pull this up because me and Spaz will agree 100% on this. Hey, SEC, do you remember when you used to make fun of the Pac-12 for never having a team go undefeated? And you're like, man, that league sucks. Now the SEC is going, man, it's so deep. That's why no one's undefeated. It's such a deep league. Shut the fuck up. Okay, there's my third F-bomb of the night. But it's fair. This is what's going on. If you watch social media, every year the Pac-10, Pac-12 would beat each other up. And they're like, no good teams exist. The SEC, everyone's beating each other up, and they're like, well, we're so deep. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Oregon Ducks guy here, though. I appreciate that because, that's what
I would love this scenario just to stick it in the thumb of the CFP's logic, like how they designed this bracket. If A&M runs beats Texas and beats Georgia in the next 2 weeks, they will have 3 losses. One of them will be at home against Notre Dame. And Notre Dame, they will get the bye while Notre Dame doesn't.
That's because Notre Dame's not in a conference. Exactly.
It is. Notre Dame could beat everyone by 70, and they could never get a bye under this structure. It's ridiculous. It's insane. They're literally. It is literally impossible for Notre Dame to get one of the top 4 seeds. It's literally the way they have it set up.
How can a G5 get one, but they can't?
Because a G5 could be one of the top 4 teams. Like Cincinnati a few years ago, they would have had a bye.
Well, they win a conference also.
That's why. Because they have a conference affiliation. Yeah.
They would have been the 3rd seed that year in that if we had the same.
And I'm sorry, and all due respect to the Golden Domers and Touchdown Jesus, how dare you sit around and just beat up on the freaking military academies? Have you no respect?
Yeah.
You should be ashamed of yourselves, Notre
No,
Dame.
no, no.
Absolutely
I mean, like,
ashamed of yourselves. How dare you?
They get 2 free wins a year.
Well,
Unless they Alabama it.
No.
hey, they have a top. That was a top 20 win this week. They beat one of the 20 best teams in the country by like
top 25 because they're still ranked 25th this week.
Maybe not by the CFP, but we'll
yeah.
see.
Troy, stop stalking me. Stop it. I told you. I sent a cease and desist letter already. All right. Anyways, yeah. So the SEC is a
The Catholic Church doesn't eat there anymore. Honestly,
well, yeah. The SEC is a mess. As we saw this last weekend, Jackson's like, I'm over talking about the SEC. So let's go to another messy conference. Let's go to the Big 12. And as Matt Ridson here with the super chat, let's go dilly. ASU has taken out every top team in
That
the Big 12.
ending.
no. You know who they didn't take out right there? The Cincinnati Bearcats. They did not take them.
I know, but they've taken out the other top teams. So ASU basically controls their destiny in the Big 12 right now.
Yeah. All they have to do is win is beat Arizona, and they're in the title game.
Which Arizona's a shit team.
Dumpster fire.
But this is what I was saying at the beginning of the year with the Big 12. It's like no way this could play out can be that surprising to you this season. I think we had one of the more like the reality situation of how this Big 12 has gone has been like almost as implausible as you could imagine. The 2 top teams have combined for 1 win in the conference, and it was because one beat the other. The 2 top teams by the media in the preseason, Utah and Oklahoma State. Utah beat Oklahoma State. Otherwise, neither of them have a win in conference.
Don't even bring Oklahoma State. Don't even bring up that trash. Don't even bring up that
trash heap.
But I mean, like
that's the equivalent of Vanderbilt, Kentucky in the SEC.
Oh no! You do not throw shade on Vanderbilt or even Kentucky compared to Oklahoma State. You, Spaz, you shut your mouth. How dare you?
As Mike
Gundy
coached his last season in Stillwater.
No,
I don't think so. But Oklahoma State, literally, their stadium is on fire.
You don't think so, Jackson?
Ground and
I think if T. Boone was still drawing air right now, he would be coaching his last season. But I don't think there's that investment to move on from the contract he has.
The magic mullet.
Magic mullet.
This chat is ruthless tonight. I love it.
So what? You guys don't have any template for the scenarios in the Big 12 right now, because all I'm seeing right now is
let's pull it up, shall we?
Yeah,
it's kind of
we've got 4 teams at 6-2 right at the top.
4 teams that are still available.
Oh my God! Okay. While you pull that up, please do. I have to apologize to Erica. I highly apologize. That is right.
Oh, my
Merrimack Warriors got a win this week.
Not just a win. Let's dive into the details here.
Exactly.
Let's go.
I apologize. I forgot. I had it pulled up too on another screen. I totally forgot. I apologize.
What is the obsession with Merrimack? I don't understand this.
Hey, ban them. Come on.
It's America's team. It's America's
team. Is that like Cal Baronet, the band.
Yeah. Let me tell it to you, Spaz. So it was like one of those off-season shows. We were doing the Mount West Conference after dark show where we were going over the schedule for that. It was sometime in February, I believe, or March.
No, later. Yeah.
And we saw that Air Force playing a school named Merrimack. And either Sean Garner or Jason O in the chat brought up Merrimack as like the team to watch for. And ever since
That was that night you guys got in like an hour-long discussion of this new school
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we, like the rest of America, fell in love with them overnight. So we've been tracking their progress like a good red-blooded American would.
Goddamn right. God damn right.
And let's let me say this: I don't know if I've ever seen this number in my life. Merrimack allowed Fordham to gain a total of 31 yards of scrimmage yesterday. 31.
Is that after like sacks or something like that, or is that adjusted?
Yeah. Well, it has to be. They had Fordham had negative 29 yards rushing.
Oh Jesus!
Yesterday. So clearly a lot of pressure being applied by the Warriors.
That's the sickest, absolutely sickest stat I've ever heard.
31 yards of offense. So
Jeez. I thought Indiana's 150 was bad.
For the sake of the country, I hope they educated their future presidents better than they coach their offense. Because I mean, if we get a 31-yard performance over the next 4 years, for the country, I'm not going to be happy.
Oh man!
And we had 120-yard performance and 150-yard performance in Division I yesterday. You were involved in one of them, John.
Yes. Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh man!
But that's not 31 yards for an entire game.
No, but that's still 150 for an entire game.
That's disgusting, though.
I'll say this about Merrimack: they have provided some fairly interesting box scores.
Oh, their season has been all over the damn place.
They won a game where they had 6 first downs.
Yeah,
Where they
I have it pulled up. I have it pulled up every week. We talked about it. I'm like, what happened? Like, what absolutely happened? You know, like, and shout out Tony here, Air Force, the first FBS team to win with 0 passing. Shout out that. Yeah, that was another highlight we wanted to bring up. Shout out the Air Force. They weren't flying, but they won. That's another
crazy. But I mean, our sorrows to Neil, though. They did knock off the Wolfpack in that game.
Oh, I know. Rip Wolfpack. I should have worn the Wolfpack shirt again, but I didn't want to wear it 2 weeks in a row. Oh man. All right. Where do we want to go from here?
Hey, how about Jackson was pulling up the stats.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, sorry.
The Big 12 scenario.
That's right. Sorry. Yeah, I kind of got distracted there for a moment.
Yeah, we don't care. We don't have enough money to spend on holiday stuff. Shoot, we're looking for important stuff like Big 12.
Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that shit.
We just need to know what the scenarios are for next week.
So BYU, if it's a 3-way tie with BYU, Arizona State, Colorado, we're gonna see an Arizona State BYU game. If we see
rematch? I don't know.
a 3-way tie with BYU, Colorado, and Iowa State, we see BYU, Iowa State playing each other. If we see a 3-way tie that contains BYU, Arizona State, Iowa State, we see Arizona State, Iowa State playing one another.
There's only 4 teams.
Yep.
But there's a chance of
Arizona State, Colorado, and Iowa State.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Let me finish the scenarios. Colorado needs to win next week to get in. And if they do win against Oklahoma State next Friday, on Black Friday on ABC, they're going to be in a 3-way tie, and they need to be one of the 2 teams to. They need to be one of 2 7-2 teams, or they need to be in a 3-way tie with Arizona State and Iowa State. And if that happens, we see a Colorado-Arizona State game. Now let's look at Arizona State.
You just confuse the shit out of me with all of that.
Dude, you're going to need a master's degree in mathematics to follow this. This is going to be so. This is the nuttiest conference so far.
Arizona State wins, they're in.
So if Arizona State wins, they're in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've taken out basically everyone. So
they've taken out BYU. They don't.
So who needs to win to be to play Arizona State? If they win their game, they're in.
Does anybody else completely control their destiny here?
I think it's BYU, isn't it?
Does BYU control their destiny?
Well, let's look at it. Iowa State controls their own destiny if they beat Kansas State.
They're in.
So it'd be Iowa State and Arizona State.
Arizona State.
Yeah.
If they both win,
got it.
They're in.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
But then
Iowa State plays
Colorado
at Iowa.
Yep.
Oh shit! What did I do?
I'm sorry. What was that?
I was like, oh shit! What did I do by accident?
Iowa State is home against Kansas State.
Farmageddon. That could be a good game. That could be a good game, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last year, that game was in a blizzard.
The Big 12 is kind of like the SEC in a way. It's become kind of a slot fest. Like, who doesn't fuck up the most? You know,
Yeah.
ASU has just been there kind of doing their thing. Not pretty all the time, but hey, shout out again Kenny Dillingham. We love Coach Dillingham with
Dilly.
former Oregon OC Marcus Arroyo also at the helm there. And
who got a 3-year extension.
Exactly. Shout out. Have you seen that was maybe one of the wildest endings to a game. We've seen field stormings before, like BYU, Utah way back when. Have you seen fans actually start to tear down the goalpost and then have to get removed, but they can't get off the field, so they just push them to the back of the end zones for one final
back at the opposing end zone.
That was so good. There's literally a goalpost like quarter of the way torn down, and they're like, no, we saw 1 second on the clock.
So, gentlemen,
it was like 25 fucking minutes to get people off the field.
So, gentlemen,
I was wondering, like, do they not have a PA system? There's no security there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that they can't allow people to like continue to storm the field.
if you're a security guard and you have like 10,000 people rushing at you, are you going to do dick? No, you're not going to do anything. You're
Fuck
going to
no,
get the
dude.
hell
I
out of
don't
the
get
way.
paid enough for that shit. I'm out.
Get the hell out of the way.
In Eugene, we tell them on the PA system,
Yeah.
folks, please wait 3 to 5 minutes before you come down on the field after the game. We will let you know when it's clear to come. But do you think them drunk 100,000 fucking fans, wherever they are listening? Fuck no. They see.
Now it's 6. Thanks. I had to update the tally. I think it's 6 now. Thanks. You're welcome, Jim. I think.
Yeah, but at Autzen, our goalposts can't come down. They're like they put
All
an
right.
end to that shit.
Anyways, carry on with the Big 12 championship game because the Big 12.
So I just want to say.
Here we go. Here we go.
Okay. So let's get this right. So let's just assume. Let's say Arizona State wins, Iowa State loses.
Mhm.
Who's next in line? Do we know that?
Arizona State, BYU. If Iowa
it's
State
BYU.
loses,
Okay. All right. Okay. So then Colorado needs BYU and one of Arizona State or Iowa State to lose.
if BYU loses, Texas Tech beats West Virginia, Baylor beats Kansas, and Cincinnati beats TCU. It'll be Colorado versus Iowa State.
These are games that shouldn't have any bearing, but
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. If they end in a 4-way tie, it's Arizona State versus Iowa State.
Yeah, that's the shit I hate the most. It's like, well, if this happens and then this happens and this happens and this happens, then this is the result. I'm like, oh my God, come on, man. I hate that.
This is why we need divisions. I don't give a shit
Well,
what anybody says.
no, I mean, they had the same problem
you
a couple
have
years ago.
12
A
or
couple
more
years
teams.
ago, in the Big Ten West, it was like a 5-way tie for first or something like that. And Purdue ended up having to being the team.
Mhm.
I think the problem with divisions, though, and Spaz, you should know, the problem with divisions is that you have one division that has 2 really good teams that should be competing for the title conference, the conference
Sucks
title.
to be Ohio State,
then-
doesn't it?
No.
Yeah, it kind of does.
This is looking at Stanford, Oregon back in the day. We're both in the North Division, and then
Yeah.
Stanford or Oregon would play a 6-6 team from the South. You should be having the best 2 teams that the conference play. Now this expanded conference, these expanded conferences, it's kind of a shit show though.
A giant
Because
shit
everything
show.
is so, it's kind of a shit show. I mean, to say the least. Speaking of shit show, let's just see what this is.
Yes.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Adam needs a wrench, and the color blue. Let's take it too. I didn't even read it first. I was like, okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, he should be a moderator. What you want to do?
I can fix this.
Yeah.
I mean, Jackson could do it too, but he's a lazy shit.
If you want mod status, all you have to do is email Mark at MarkRogersTV@gmail.com.
Yeah. And if you're a consistent viewer on here, as always, we always note, definitely want to join the YouTube membership or the Patreon, and then you get to be on this panel too.
Yes.
As always. Oh wait, Jackson, I'm not even going to attempt. You do it the best of all. Let's do it.
If you love top-notch content in all of college football, where you can get exclusive live streams, watch parties, predictions, betting advice, and insider looks in all of college football, go to patreon.com/MarkRogersTV or become a YouTube member of the Voice of College Football, where you can be on CFB After Dark every Sunday night with crazy guys like us, where we are like the HBO equivalent of college football final. And this is the best college football postgame show to go to, where you can get top-notch takes in all college football with a side of Merrimack. Stay tuned.
Oh.
God damn right. And if you want something scary, you also get to witness this.
It looks like a damn troll under the bridge.
I'm amazed I haven't got a text be like, hey, language, bitches.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. When Jackson stared straight in the camera like that, I felt like he was piercing right into my soul. I feel like I would have bought whatever he was selling right there. Like, you know what?
Did you feel violated?
No. It was pleasurable. It was enjoyable.
Adam, you need to quit being scared and bring your ass up here. You can do just like Austin does. You don't even have to put your face on the video, but you should come up here and discuss with us since you have access.
This panel and chat are disgusting tonight. What is happening?
Come on, Adam, get your buttons up here.
This is a return to form. I feel like
Adam Lamparello.
That's
That's the guy from that comedy guy, isn't it? Adam. He's that guy from Comedy Central. Adam Lampanella.
Where Adam Carolla? Adam Carolla?
That guy.
Oh, that's different. If we actually want to talk disgusting, which actually not in a bad way by any means. Hey, shout out the conference champion already of the Pac-2. The Oregon State Beavers. Let's go. Let's go. I'm not saying that in a bad way either, but I mean they're
5-game losing streak. You just came off a waxing at Air Force where you got shut out 28-0. You had less than 200 yards of total offense. You come home the following week to face an 8-2 team, the number 21, I believe, team at the time in the CFP top 25, who was 8-2 going in, had everything in the world to play for, and you shellacked them up and down the field in a shootout to win in the end, 41-38.
Right. That was the most literally Pac-12 thing that you could think of, is like a team on a roll like that, a team down in the dumps, and then that. Yeah, that literally just that's literally just how it goes.
And if they go in and pull the upset on the blue turf next week in Boise and knock Boise State out of the CFP playoffs, they will finish with a 6-6 record and become bowl eligible.
And by the way, we have 5 slots left, and he is the host of Rutgers Live on Rutgers at the Voice of College Football. He is the one and only himself, Adam Lamparello.
I was like,
And I do not have a face for radio. Understand that. Somebody said I had a face for radio. That's nonsense.
Yeah, I was like,
You asked for it, you got it.
You asked for it, you got it, Spaz.
Oh, what's going on, Adam?
Hey, Spaz. Good to see y'all.
Yeah. Good to have you on.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm going to say...
What kind of ambient music?
You know, apart from... What are you sorry about? Don't worry about it.
It's like, what the fuck? Where is it coming from? All right.
So listen, Penn State should not be in the playoff. South Carolina should be in the playoff if they win out, and so should Florida. All right, I want the top 12 teams, not this nonsense about these teams that have the best record when there's schedule disparity. If I get Penn State, they're finished.
Penn State's finished?
Yes.
Why? Because they had a tough game on the road against a decent team?
Yeah, because they have no quality wins, and because they won by 1 point against a very silly Minnesota team, and because South Carolina is on a roll, and South Carolina is on a 5-game winning streak, and because Florida is also impressing. I mean, you guys think I'm crazy in the comment box. Let me tell you this. The 2007 New York Giants were 10-6 at the end of the season, but sure enough, they got a playoff berth and beat the Patriots, who were undefeated in the Super Bowl. Then they did it again in 2011. So wins and losses is not the sole barometer because of schedule disparity.
That is true. I mean, I think the NFL is a little bit different in the sense of professional, but I get that. I get the comparison. I remember that 2007 Giants team going in. Trust me, everyone in my band was all Patriots. They bet money on the Patriots, and I was like, Giants.
So, Adam, tell us about your great victory. Loss last night.
Oh my
God!
God! Oh, I forgot about this. Oh, way to go, Spaz. Here's some more F-bombs about to happen.
No, and first of all, as far as Tony goes, Tony, you make good comments, but you have to have this consistent caps, or else I can't respond to you. So Rutgers has the kicker for Illinois sets up for a 58-yard field goal, and Coach Shiano calls a timeout to ice somebody on a 58-yard attempt. And then Illinois decides to go for it on 4th and 13 with 40 seconds left.
You're missing a critical point. Like, the kick was off by like 900 yards.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
That was a bad decision, but I don't put it on Shiano because they still had, a responsibility to not give up that 40-yard touchdown pass. But I was all set up to do the Rutgers show. I was in a good mood. I was happy. And then they do this shit, and all of a sudden, I got to do the Rutgers show. And I don't know what the hell this is. It's ridiculous. I don't need this. Who's going to want to watch the Rutgers show if they keep losing like this? I mean, my girlfriend tells me I'm crazy. Well, I mean, they need to start winning. And this is unacceptable for Rutgers. Totally unacceptable, and I don't need – I'm depressed enough as it is. I don't need more of this crap to make it even worse.
Well, you're from New Jersey. That's sort of a prerequisite, right?
I love New Jersey. I'm from Bergen County. I went to Bergen Catholic High School. I love New Jersey.
Bergen Catholic. Oh God, you went to Bergen. That school has produced so many ridiculous athletes.
Yeah, I was good friends with Mark DeRosa. Mark DeRosa played for the Cubs. I don't know if you guys remember that back in the 90s. He played for the Braves. Look,
kind of like Brian Cushing.
Everybody needs to go to New Jersey before they die, because New Jersey, it's where it's at, right, Spaz?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Oh yeah.
Trees, but you got to be by New York City. That's where things are happening.
I'm visiting Philadelphia in March. Like, does that count if I just hop over to Camden?
No.
Well, people like us from North Jersey do not look as highly upon the southern part of the state, but still it's worthy of respect. But keep chomping says Paramus Catholic is a little better. What I would say is that they're pretty comparable along with Don Bosco, but I was at Bergen Catholic in 1993 when they had that epic game against Paramus Catholic. But you guys should go to New Jersey, because the best part of Jersey is the Jersey Shore, Seaside Heights.
Okay,
That's where it's at.
Okay,
beautiful.
Adam, I'm going to push back immediately. Because the one time I went to Jersey, your roads are shit. The tolls are expensive as shit. And then they bill you like 2 months later and add on top of it, like you didn't respond.
Yes, but it's worth it, because on the way to Atlantic City, where I hit $5,000 on the slots last year, it's worth it. It really is.
It's such a nightmare.
What casinos are still running in Atlantic City? I know all like the old boardwalk casinos are all gone, aren't they?
Yeah, most of them are still running. The last time I was there was about a year ago. I honestly don't remember which casino I went to see. That's because I had enjoyed some adult beverages. I don't remember what the casino was, but I did win on the slots.
Sean, you don't remember what the casino was.
I don't remember which one it was. But that's irrelevant. I won money.
That doesn't even seem plausible to me that you.
Hey,
this ever happened.
Tony and I, when Oregon plays Rutgers in New Jersey, Tony and I are gonna fly out there and we're gonna hit the boardwalk in the Jersey Shore, and Adam's gonna show us all about New Jersey lifestyle.
I will show you around, and I will take you to Steve's Sizzlin' Steaks in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey. The steaks are absolutely delicious. They put way too much salt on them. Perfect. You're going to love it. It's just fantastic. And they give you a free drink if you can finish it without getting high blood pressure. That's where we got to go.
All right. Yeah, and then we'll hit the Jersey Shore.
Absolutely. I mean, that's where, you'll still hear Bon Jovi. Women still have perms. They're still watching Rocky III, and it's still.
And
it's
Bruce
like
Springsteen is still playing in the middle of the beach on
the
a
Jersey
stage.
Boardwalk. It's still the 80s still exists there, unlike this 2024 shit where everybody's on their cell phones and obsessed with Instagram. Forget it. You go back to the 80s.
Forget about it.
Forget it. Forget it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Sean is going to show you a good time.
I love that line. Forget about it.
And I'm going to introduce you guys to Doug Lanzo. He's a friend of mine. He's one of those people who solves problems. So if you got a problem, he solves them. That's all I'm going to say about it.
You got problems, call Doug. You take care about it in a minute. All right?
Yeah. I'm going to take you all to Angelo's for some linguine with white clam sauce, a beautiful Cabernet. And then when the people come up to you, I'll vouch for you. Don't worry about it. Everything's good. All right, let's go.
I feel like we're all about to be put on a hit list.
As long as you're respectful, you're going to be fine.
Well, yeah. Oh, man.
Oh.
See, this is the
something you can.
We got you here, Adam. Give us your top five.
You can. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Huh?
Adam, give us your top five right now in the college football playoff.
Top
5.
Number 1, Ohio State. Number 2, Texas. Number 3, Oregon. Now you're getting dicey. Number 4, Georgia.
I think the top 4 are fairly cut and dry. Like I think those are,
Number 5, I'm not sure about. I'm trying to think. Number 5. After the Ole Miss loss, I don't know. That's a struggle for me. And that's why I think the 12-team playoff is ridiculous, because there's only 4 or 5 teams that are really competing. But I do think South Carolina, if they win out, should be in, because they'll have beaten Clemson on the road. And I think Florida should be in if they win out, because although they have 5 losses, they have been one of the best 12 teams. Okay. And you cannot tell me that Florida is not better than Indiana or, let's go down Miami. Give me a break. Giants, Dave. Giants. I live 2 miles from Giants Stadium. I met Phil Simms once, and I was watching that game in 1990 when Scott Norwood hit the. I really got to go back to New Jersey. There's no point living in Georgia anymore. New Jersey is where everyone should be, and I can't wait to see you guys for the Oregon game, because we're gonna go to Angelo's, we're gonna go to Seaside Heights, and we're gonna meet Doug Lanza. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be fantastic.
I don't hear from us again.
I don't have a problem with that type of ranking that you just gave, kind of analysis, because I think it is. It's like after 4, it really starts kind of getting.
I think I throw Miami as a 5.
And it gets muddy.
I throw Miami as a 5.
Miami refuses to play defense. They're like,
Yeah, that's the one argument I do get from Slim, is that he does admit that Miami's defense is very suspect at best.
Yeah, I remember, talking with Slim in the preseason about how Miami's always losing that one game they shouldn't under Mario Cristobal and how Oregon had that same issue with Cristobal, and I know where he was like, say, well, everybody does that, doesn't make it okay. You can't be losing every game that you should. You can't be losing that one game that you shouldn't. Can't
Yeah,
be
I
doing
mean,
that.
and I think Oregon has a shot this year. And the reason I say that is because they have a tremendous group of wideouts and they have a defense. So they do have a chance. I saw somebody say, who's your favorite Soprano? Listen, Dave, before I became a lawyer and a teacher in Georgia, and that's why I moved out of New Jersey, whoever said that, I was actually an actor, and I was an extra on The Sopranos in season 4. And
nice.
I met all of them, and they're fantastic, but Jim Gandolfini was by far the best. Nicest guy in the world.
So you're a Tony guy. I can never answer who's my favorite, but my least favorite by far is AJ. Fuck AJ. AJ sucked.
Yeah, he was nice. He was
the best.
pleasant, but I could see that argument. Yeah.
I know nothing about the actor or anything. I'm just saying the character on the show sucked.
Agreed.
He's the only bad character on the show.
The Bada Bing, in reality, is a strip club called Satin Dolls on Route 17 in New Jersey, off of exit 64B on Route 17. It's where Route 80. It's about 2 miles from where I live. So what they depicted was very accurate about that place. Not that I know anything about it.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Like one actor I've really liked from that show is
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying, right?
I'll let you guys carry on with this by all means, but I was going to tell the chat to do it also, but Jim already got ahead. So tally update for F bombs, 7. Jim believes it's 7. Let's go. Let's get to 20. I like to get angry texts from Mark going, "Hey, cool it with the F bombs," but I'm all for it.
I love that we have people actually keeping track of this stuff.
With my Frank Vincent impression from The Sopranos, as he spent 20 years in the fucking can. Spent 20 years in the can.
And let me tell you something. Pussy deserved what he got on the boat. He was a traitor. He was a rat, and he got what he deserved. You can't see in North Jersey. There's a lot of mafia, and there's one thing you can't do. You cannot be a rat.
No.
If you're a rat, that's it. You'll see when we go to Angelo's. You'll know what I'm talking about. Trust me.
We'll see the trophies mounted on the walls, right?
Yes, and look, like my buddy Doug Lanzo always says, we solve problems. But if they solve problems, you got to do them a favor. And look, they'll be reasonable. But if you rat out on anybody in the mafia, you know what they do? That's it. That's the end. There's no. But the mafia is not as strong as it was back in the '80s when John Gotti and the Gambinos were. It's really been decimated by prosecutors.
And
the ball ruined it for everyone, right?
Movie Goodfellas, and I read a little bit about the book that was based off it. And from what I heard and from what I read on the book, it was like an art. It was like holy crap. And Goodfellas was basically, and am I correct to assume that it was basically like a Disney version of what the mob was?
Yeah, Goodfellas was based on crews in Queens, New York, and it involved two mobsters. Number one was Henry Hill and Jimmy Conway. Jimmy Conway ultimately died in a prison in Atlanta, and Henry Hill is still alive. He was in the witness protection program, but it pretty accurately depicts the mafia. Now, my family and the people where I grew up, we are not involved with the mafia, but there are mafia all around where, I mean, you will know people who are in the mafia. It's not a lifestyle I would recommend because you either end up in prison or you can end up dead. And Troy said Hill died a few years ago. So
yes, he did. I remember in the movie in Goodfellas when he talked about where Hill in the movie talked about where when the mafia gets somebody, they come at you at your worst time. And it's not like the police or regular people where you're yelling F-bombs or GDs. It's, hey, buddy, I'm here for you. And then when you least expect it,
Your best friend will kill you. That's exactly you're exactly right. That's why my family was never involved in the mafia, but like we knew people in the mafia, and if you needed help in a way that law enforcement could not help you, they will help you, but they will require you to give something back in return, and then they won't bother you. But it's a lifestyle that was largely decimated after John Gotti was arrested and Paul Castellano was killed because Congress passed a statute called the RICO statute, which has essentially allowed them to really decimate the mafia. So they're around, but they're not as powerful.
Yeah.
Adam, I have a question. Like, if your family was involved with the mafia, would you admit it live on in front of hundreds of people on the After Dark podcast?
No.
That's your answer.
Negative. And one thing about the mob one thing that movies get wrong about the mafia, there is not that much killing in the mafia. It's not like people get whacked left and right.
No,
fact,
exactly.
It's not like
quite the opposite, really.
It's the opposite. You're right. But you can't be a rat though.
But it does happen. Like, I mean, like, how many killings have to be a lot? Like, I feel if I kill one person, I would be like, that'd be a lot in my life.
If you talk to the feds, you're finished.
Okay.
And if you sleep with someone else's wife or girlfriend, you're finished.
Yeah.
Then they will kill you. But other than that, they have no interest in doing that.
Yeah.
See, I'm just a good old wasp from West Michigan. I know nothing about this.
Those guys, they don't like any of that fucking around with somebody else's spouse. That's a no. I don't either. It's like
no. And the third thing is they absolutely hate drugs. So do not become someone who is selling heroin or coke, especially across state lines. That will get you whacked.
No drugs, no problem.
I'm just reporting based on what I've read in books.
Yeah.
Right. That's why you live in Georgia.
It's a long story, all right? It is what it is.
Oh,
wait.
Okay,
Adam. Yeah.
They don't care about weed. The problem is you cannot make millions of dollars selling weed. You make millions of dollars selling fentanyl, selling coke, but the risks are too large. What the mafia wants to do is they want to stay local and engage in local scams, card games, loan sharking,
alcohol,
things like that. Yes, that's where they make their money.
Buying and selling alcohol, from distillers and distributors, and
And they are your best friends. I mean, they are some of the most loyal, cool people. Anyway.
Yeah.
But
Oregon's a good team.
But I can tell you right now, if you want to be a part of amazing conversations such as this on every Sunday night right here on The Voice of College Football, come on in and become a Patreon member of The Voice of College Football or become a YouTube member where you can discuss topics of the latest in all of college football and interesting conversations such as this, where we're talking about, do's and don'ts in the mob and much, much more wonderful non-football topics, all right here on CFP After Dark, Sunday nights on The Voice of College Football.
College football after whack. Oh, I love it.
I should probably go, guys, because, we probably get back to college football, and I should probably call Doug Lanzo and probably wonder if my employer is going to call me I'm going to get called my supervisor's office saying, what were you talking about? I'll just say, listen, buddy, you want to challenge me, you're going to get fucking whacked. All right. So that's the end of the story. Enough with this bullshit.
Or like Michael DeSanta on Grand Theft Auto.
I feel like it might be in all of our best interest if Adam leaves. I don't know how much more he's going to divulge. That could put us all in danger.
As Michael
and listen, I do not have a face for radio, whoever said that. Get lost. That's ridiculous.
That was somebody on the chat, I think.
I
As
know how
Michael
ridiculous.
DeSanta on Grand Theft Auto says, you forget 1,000 things every day. Make sure this is one of them.
I better get out now, guys, because as my friends always tell me, I am good in small doses. So, as such, thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate it, guys. Great to see you as
Thanks.
always, and hope to see you soon.
Yeah,
Ladies
thanks
and
for
gentlemen,
coming
check
in,
out
Adam.
Rutgers at the Voice College Football starring Adam Lamparello.
Thank
Tell
you.
your friends, family, and the cashiers at your local grocery stores to get to 1,000 subs to the channel. Stay tuned.
I was going to put
That's
him on
something you don't want to
full screen,
forget
but
about.
Forget about it.
Yeah, no. Hit the Rutgers town. You know you want to.
You know,
What haven't we talked? What disaster haven't we talked about so far?
Colorado. I mean,
Oh,
we really
yeah.
haven't talked
Hey.
about their disaster
They got
yesterday.
smacked by
Shout out Leipold, telling you.
Well,
Why
has
didn't we
Kansas had like the weirdest season in college football history? They've like
Oh my god!
they've like ruined. They were like 1-6, and now they ruined like 3 teams in a row.
They beat 3 ranked teams in a row as an unranked team, the first time in college football history. And I have to just say continuously.
Oh, by the way, they're still not 500 on the season.
Yeah, exactly. And I also have to talk trash to all the Deion hater, blah blah blah. Sorry, Travis Hunter doing a Heisman pose in the second quarter as you're losing. Get out of here. Get out.
Yeah,
of here.
it's like I am
Embarrassing.
Why didn't we see this version of Kansas in September and October? Yes, as a matter of fact, GMR, they are the first college football team in history to beat 3 ranked teams in a row while having a losing record.
Exactly. And unranked. It's like just like, geez. All of a sudden, Kansas figured it out, apparently.
Yeah, Kansas, I can tell you right now, they made an offer that Colorado couldn't refuse.
I mean, I'm not trying to throw shade at Colorado. They've had a decent season, obviously, but yeah, you're not there yet. Still, you're still not there. You basically almost have gotten knocked out of the Big 12 title, and you had it all in front of you.
I have a question. Like, do you think Deion becomes the coach of the Cowboys next year?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. I kind of think yes. I'm thinking more likely than not.
It's an interesting question because, like they said, when Hunter and Shador and Shiloh are gone, is Deion really gonna stay?
Mm.
You know,
I don't know. I don't think so.
A lot of the speculation is, yeah, he's not going to, and then Colorado's going to just be screwed. I mean,
but I mean, like they were in such a bad position when they hired him. It was like, I mean, they had been so bad for so long. They needed to do something.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying if he leaves, they're gonna be just as screwed, again.
Yeah.
Because you're going to see all the players that committed or potentially committed or looking at it go, yeah,
oh my
screw it, I'll go elsewhere.
Yeah, that if he leaves that portal, I mean, they may be the worst team in college football next year. They really might be.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation. It's just.
Maybe. That's a reasonable point. I haven't heard that, but that makes sense.
It does, because there's a huge difference in college and NFL coaching.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we have to. We'll broach another subject later. I have to say that it's absolutely disgusting. I get it; they have the money, but you can tell how much people are making in college now, which is fine. I have no problem with the players making money, NIL. when you see like Travis Hunter wearing literally like what looks like diamond covered freaking cleats on the field, that was like disgusting. I was like, what the hell is that?
Well, I mean, like it looks bad. I mean, like it just looks like that's just not tasteful. It's just
it's a personal taste. It's a personal taste, I'm sure, more than anything.
Yeah,
Some people
I
think
know,
it looks good.
Just aesthetically, that doesn't look good at all. Like, why?
I know this ain't college football, but that's like today. Kyler Murray, Arizona Cardinals quarterback, was made fun of all day. I think you pointed it out too, even Ben, wearing Oregon cleats in Seattle today, and then he went out and scored 3 points.
Yeah, it was also because way back when Oregon was in the running for Kyler Murray, I guess. So it was kind of like I guess shout out for the team. But yeah, I was like, what in the hell? It's like I didn't know if an NFL quarterback can wear a college team's cleats.
Yeah,
like, that was kind of weird.
Didn't Johnny Manziel committed to Oregon at one point, right?
Yes.
Mariota and him were on the same
recruiting class.
Yeah, they were both committed at the same time.
Okay. I think Oregon made out the best in that.
Oh yeah. I would take Mariota every day over Manziel. Sorry.
Granted, they both won the Heisman's, but
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Think about that. That's probably got to be the only time in history two QBs from the same class committed to the same school both won the Heisman.
Yeah.
That was a loaded roster, so you can't blame one quarterback for leaving at the same time going, yeah.
No.
Can't blame him. Oh God, I just had another team in mind here to talk about game wise, and now I thought about it. Okay. Here we go.
We haven't talked about Indiana at all. Can we talk about that a little bit?
No, God no, hell no. I want to go directly to prime time Saturday night. Big Ten country at its finest. Los Angeles, California, as noted by I will shout out here, Mark might not like this, but the podcast of champions for shouting it out earlier when they talked about it, and they called it the slap fight, where no one really wanted to win that game. Like, absolutely no one wanted to win. It was just like literally a bitch slap fest of two just teams going at it. Like it was painful to watch. Even they were like, and they're fans of those teams. They're like, yeah, it was brutal.
I thought Tim would be in here celebrating his mighty LA victory.
Oh no, they already did the USC show live earlier, and he ignored all of my commentary in the chat. He ignored every one of them. I was like, well, if you guys are proud of that victory, I guess. I mean, baby steps, I guess.
I tell you, I mean, I feel like this Sean Foster's due some credit here. Like he took over an impossible situation. This team was dead at the beginning of the year. They've clearly improved.
And hey,
through the year.
They 100% improved over the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And they were the first 3 weeks they were dumpster fire.
Yeah.
And at least now they've won a few games. They have a little bit of, pride back in them again. So it could help them for their, winter run in recruiting.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. And I mean, I'm sorry. I said this last week at some point. Literally, Lincoln Riley's like, hey, we're going to start the backup quarterback now. Miller Moss transfers. He's out. He's in the transfer portal. Apparently, he's out after he got benched.
Yeah, he left.
And what?
Left
And
the
what?
team.
And yeah, but I'm saying, what did Lincoln Riley immediately do after that? Just go, I don't. It's not the coaching decisions or my play calling. No, it's the quarterback, and that's what they did in this whole game. They were like 3 times from like the 5-yard line throwing fades that went nowhere against UCLA. Just awful play calling. Awful play calling.
And then he flips another 5-star from another school.
It's like just awful play calling. And he will not accept that, hey, maybe it's also coaching decisions that are the problem, not the player. So,
Yeah.
it is what it
Well,
is.
we shall see, because I think the thing that might have saved his job, even though they won yesterday, was the flipping of Houston Longstreet to USC, because at least that will give him. They'll be like, all right, you lost one. So you lost the second coming of Connor Williams in Miller Moss because you made a fatal mistake there. And now you go out and get Houston Longstreet. Okay, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You're supposed to be the quarterback guru. Next year, if he comes out and has a year like this, he's gone. They won't stand for it again.
No.
Now, they're still going to owe him like $70 million.
What we think about is Deshaun Foster, who had never been anything above a position coach at any level, takes over a UCLA program that's in the dumpster right now, like a total trash heap. And in year one, he is competing to the wire with you in your third year of taking us over. I'm like, that's got to be fairly alarming. Like this should not be a competitive game right now between these two programs where they're at.
Deshaun Foster, at least you've seen him made massive strides with that coaching staff and the players
within the first year.
Everything. Yeah, massive strides. I mean, is it perfect? God, no. But you've seen them actually fix and adjust things, though, where they
I think USC has regressed in Lincoln Riley's years.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. He overachieved the first year, got nothing out of it. Next year, really bad. This year, worse.
Yeah.
It's gone downhill. Oh, all right. God damn it, Sean. Fucking Taco House. Okay, counter from the chat. Taco House State beating up poor Indiana.
Poor. Yeah. What can I say? Just freaking hell of a performance yesterday.
What was your prediction going in?
I thought they were going to win by like 10-14, something like that. It was going to be like a fairly competitive game that they would pull away. It would be a game, a 3.5 quarter game is what I thought, but it really wasn't even that. I mean, the defense showed up and just like suffocated after a terrible opening drive.
Yeah, after that first drive, it was like if they flipped the switch.
Just I mean,
they couldn't carry.
Yeah, I mean, Indiana went 75 yards on the first drive, and I saw the graphic pop up in the fourth quarter that Indiana had 89 yards total
after the first drive.
No, 89 yards total in the game in the fourth quarter.
75 was that first drive alone.
First drive, yeah. I mean, like it was just complete lockdown.
Indiana had nothing for your blitz. Nothing.
No. And Michigan may have given a little bit of a blueprint that this Indiana line might have some deficiencies, which isn't, like that's not too much of a surprise. But the fact that we could overwhelm them that much, and that they could get creative and figure out a way to just snuff them out was
And very
very
quickly.
impressive. It was very, very nice to see, and yeah, the special teams and the defense played brilliantly, and the offense took care of business after a slow start. And yeah, the game wasn't in doubt very much. That was not a super competitive contest. So it could be that, like, the clock just struck midnight at halftime against Michigan for Indiana. Like, maybe they were just on this run that was unrealistic. But, I have a feeling like Ohio State really, like they're really peaking at the right moment. And hopefully next weekend, it's weird because Michigan is a weird possible sort of letdown spot. Like their offense has been horrible all year long. So,
until yesterday.
Yeah, until yesterday.
Right.
Until yesterday.
And shout out to the Michigan fans for going, we just put it 50 points. It's the coming of Jesus. Like, it's Northwestern. Calm down.
Calm down, Michigan.
As Detroit,
there's real reason to like be a little bit concerned about next week. I mean, I'm not gonna,
Well, and as Detroit here, he's like, Rourke was shell shocked. I'm like, dude, when Ohio State was blitzing, Rourke literally had nowhere to go.
Nowhere.
I mean, his timing passes, it's like a 1, 2, 3, 4. By 3, he was getting hit. I mean, it didn't matter. He wasn't shell shocked. He literally just had no chance at all back there. I watched most of the game, and I was like, holy shit, this guy's getting murdered back there, and not by his own fault.
No, it was it's hard to take a whole lot from that game because you don't know if it's just like Indiana's just finally getting exposed, if they were kind of smoke and mirrors the whole year when they look like you can't deny what they did through the first 10 weeks this year. Just incredibly impressive, and just the best coaching job of the year for sure. By Kurt Signell.
Definitely up there.
I mean, it's also it's also what was this as impressive as it looks? Like beating the pants off of a top 5 team the way Ohio State did yesterday. I mean, is it really as impressive as it appears on the surface? I don't know. I mean, I think Indiana's a good team. I don't know if they're like a top 15 team in the country.
Is Indiana this year's Florida State?
No, sorry. This comment got me excited. By the way, did you see the Pop-Tart Bowl is going to have 3 Pop-Tarts this year?
Oh,
3.
They're going to have 3 different flavored Pop-Tarts, and I guess the team gets to choose which one they eat. It just reminded me of the Pop-Tart. We need to update our imagery coming up here soon.
Yeah, we put 3 of them out there now.
Oh man!
Hey, can we have the entire chat give us their favorite Pop-Tart flavor right now? I was always a s'mores guy myself.
Ooh.
Strawberry.
Yeah, I didn't mind the strawberry. I'm not a huge strawberry person, but the strawberry Pop-Tart was pretty good.
There we go.
Ooh, blueberry. That's a good one. Blueberry's a good one too. That was a good one.
Strawberry ones still are good.
Jackson, you've been conspicuously silent.
He's still stuck.
Well, I'm getting some stuff downloaded for the Voice of College Football.
He's
audio, which of course
he's still stuck in mildew land, trying to figure out how to replace the mildew he has down in Alabama.
Okay. Well, don't forget to tell your friends to check out the Voice of College Football on Amazon Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Audible, and much, much more on where you can find your local podcast.
Sean, what did you do this chat? Now they're just talking about Pop-Tarts.
Oh my God.
It's disgusting.
That is correct.
Mark is going to be like,
Jackson, your favorite
Oh,
Pop
yeah,
Tart flavor.
the cinnamon
Go.
with the brown sugar is all right.
Jackson, your favorite Pop Tart flavor.
Well, I mean, I can't be able to eat the Kellogg's brand, so allergen-free ones instead. So I guess I gotta go with the chocolate ones.
Steak and eggs.
yeah, I saw that. I was like, what? That's not a Pop-Tart flavor. I hope not.
Oh God, what the hell?
Ooh, strudel. Ooh, yeah, strudel. Oh, that's good. That's good.
The strudel was too much work, right? You had to like load the frosting on yourself, and you had to you had to toast and microwave. Like, come on.
You had
Stop
to
it.
you had to work for it, man. Come on.
Ain't nothing wrong with working for your food.
Yeah, what about so should we talk about some of the key games coming up this week?
Hold on. Before we do that, I do want to do a quick reference and shout out to the Calgoritham for fixing their shit in the fourth quarter
Calgoritham
against
is bowl
Stanford.
eligible.
Yeah, against Stanford. I tweeted the Calgoritham like, you guys remember you're playing Stanford, right? When they were down like 20 points. I was like, hello. So shout out Cal. Good job.
Yeah. Well, and another team we should shout out is Nebraska, as they ended that long losing streak to Wisconsin, which dated back to the 2012 Big Ten title game. And now they've got not only a win in November, but they are bowl eligible for the first time since 2016.
Good
And
God.
it's in the second year of the Matt Rule era. We've all seen the magic that Matt Rule has brought to Temple. What he did his second year, his third year. The third year is key. He brought some magic over to Temple in Pennsylvania. We saw him bringing that magic to Baylor. Now let's see what magic he's bringing to Nebraska and see if the momentum carries over on Black Friday, next Friday on NBC.
I mean, just being bowl eligible was a huge step because they
For both Nebraska and Cal, yeah.
Nebraska especially, they had just been so down every year. Remember, they were the best 3-9 team in the history of college football just a few years ago.
Well, I mean, like especially think about like the fans that show up every weekend. They remember the 80s and the 90s. A lot of them do. You know, I mean, this was one of the premier programs in the country, and that stadium of 100,000 plus gets filled every single weekend, and they have not delivered a product worthy of their fans' support. So, like, I mean, like 6 wins is not the standard. It shouldn't be the standard at Nebraska, but that's insane that it's been that long. And they still get the kind of support they have. I mean, I don't know if there's another program in the country where the fans would keep turning out for the product they've delivered. So, I mean, like, yeah, great for the Nebraska fans to at least have something. You know, you're going to go to a bowl this year.
Well, they live in Nebraska. So what else?
Hey, let's not be mean here. Come on.
The third year.
Come on, man. We don't need to be like that here.
I don't want to call it early, but I think Nebraska can make a huge jump in 2025 with Matt Rule.
Oh yeah, I think so. The second year with Raiola, Yeah, this year, Viola has hit that. He
Freshman wall.
hit that. Yeah, he hit that freshman wall. Like he took it as much as he could. He progressed as far as he can year one. Now he's going to get better with the players around him, different players, and just keep progressing. So, I mean, it's a huge step forward. The point is, that was the hump they haven't been able to get over multiple years. Just getting bowl goddamn eligible.
It's amazing to think a program like that was at the heights they were at. Like, okay, we got bowl eligible once in a decade. Yay!
I mean, and the last time they were bowl eligible, correct me if I'm wrong, they were 5-7 under Mike Riley, and they just got kind of like one of those academic, like at large.
No, I don't think you're wrong. I think you are wrong. I don't think those existed back then.
Well, that was right before Scott Frost took over, I believe. So I think that was the last time they were bowl eligible.
I think the year before Riley's last year was the last year they were bowl eligible. Is that right, Jackson?
Was it the year before Riley's last year? Maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
But still, it was Riley. It was Riley, and they were 5-7, I believe, that year.
Yeah, Scott Frost, like favorite son, like hottest coaching commodity in America, comes there and is there for 5 years, 6 years, wherever it was, and never gets eligible.
Something like that, yeah.
5 years.
5 years.
Didn't Mike Riley get him to a bowl once?
He did, but Frost didn't. Yeah. Well, he got them to a bowl a couple of times, I think. But they haven't been 500 for a long time. Cream cheese spaghetti with ranch.
I just saw that. I was like, what in the absolute hell is that? And that's a Michigan person, so that explains.
Yeah, that's
Hey, don't be mean to our Michigan crowd. They're oh man, they're
that's a they serve up in the western suburbs of Detroit. I don't know. Western Wayne County. He's out there near the airport.
Sean, you're close to there. Do you eat cream cheese spaghetti with ranch?
No. I'm on the west side of the state. So yeah, we don't do things like that.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Do you have pineapple in your spaghetti?
What the hell?
No.
No.
I'm actually a fan of pineapple on pizza, but no, I'm not putting my pineapple in spaghetti.
Okay.
No. Pineapple on pizza is amazing. Pineapple on spaghetti? Oh, no, thank you. There's some weird shit going on there. All right,
I do occasionally. When I make my pasta, sometimes I do drizzle a small amount of honey into my pasta sauce when I make it. Highly recommended.
I can see that. I can see
okay.
that.
Ben.
Yes.
What other teams have we left out?
No one that freaking matters. So let's move right on to rivalry week, or as we like to call it here in the Voice of College Football.
I need to call out Dark Dusky though here on the culinary topic here. Yeah. This is someone who has never had Skyline or Gold Star ever, because if you did, yeah, screw you. I mean, like,
well, you technically have no room to talk because as he has a giant duck on there, and the duck is conquered the Big Ten, so you can shut the fuck up. Okay,
the Big Ten
chat section.
Big Ten titles you want?
We need to count.
The Dark you want.
I need to count. So let's go one by one because Jackson.
How many Big Ten titles does Dark Duck you want? Yeah.
Following your Oklahoma performance for the Crimson Tide, and now watching Auburn take down A&M.
Ooh.
How well do you feel about this rivalry week during the game?
Little nervous as hell. I know that we're in Tuscaloosa, and Auburn hasn't beaten us in Tuscaloosa since 2010. And if you take out Cam Newton, the last time prior to 2010 was in 06 during that Tuberville winning streak over the Crimson Tide from 02 to 07. But still, though, I am nervous as hell about the Auburn Tigers.
What we didn't talk about it much, but what do you think was the issue yesterday, and what do you think needs to be fixed going forward?
Our O line needs to get fixed quick, fast, in a hurry, and Keelan Russell can't come soon enough.
That's fair. So, I don't know. Yeah, is it more an offensive issue or defensive issue? I'm
I
really
feel like
confused.
it's a team issue. It's an everybody issue.
Well,
Is the locker room in chaos down there? Because
Yeah,
there's a lot of reports that there's some
a lot of bullshit.
a lot of bullshit in the locker room with some of the guys. Some of the seniors.
And from what Adam was saying, that it's the seniors. They're just whipping up the crowd like Malachi Moore. Yeah.
It's kind of been both of them throughout the year because in the Vanderbilt and even the Georgia games which they won, but they had to struggle through it. The defense seemed like it had a lot of issues then. And today you have the offense. The offense had more turnovers than they had points in the game this weekend.
Alabama had not gone without a touchdown in a game since 2010, 2011?
2011, November 5th against LSU.
9-6 on double overtime or something like that.
13 years. That's a cause for concern, and something we were talking about on Spaces last night as well was that the look in Jalen Milroe when in games like this, when he seems to get lost or flustered, he makes that one mistake, and he just has that like deer in the headlights look in him for the rest of the game. And once you see that look on him, it's over. Because for some reason, once he gets to that point, that catatonic state, you can't bring him back. It's over. And he's seen it in every one of the Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, the LSU. He's seen it in all those, major games. Every time he has an issue. Last year in the title game, he just looked like lost. Once you rattle him, it's over. Is that a personal thing or is that a mental thing? What do you think, Jackson? You're the Alabama guy.
A little bit of everything. You've got to get everything fixed.
No, I think it would be almost a benefit for him if he were to leave Bama for the year. There's talk about him being, potentially a high round as first or second round draft pick.
He's a senior, isn't he?
He's not a senior, is he? He's not in his last year eligibility. It's hard.
Is he in his last year, Jackson?
I don't think he is.
Are we talking about Jalen Milroe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in his last year. This is his last year in college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, yeah. If that's true, then that negates my point. I was saying I would think it would almost serve him better to leave because I don't think this offense suits his skill set the best anyway. But yeah,
That kind of
I don't
goes
know.
into our
Like it's true. He's been all or nothing the whole year. Like I mean, against Georgia he was great. Against LSU he was great. This weekend he was horrible. Against, I mean, it's just been a very uneven year for Jalen Milroe.
That's kind of the point. Is like it's just been
he's a
so
running
up and
back.
down.
Jackson, do you think he's more of a running back than he is a quarterback? I've heard that over the last couple of days too.
Yeah.
A lot of Alabama people feel that he's more of a running back than a quarterback.
Yeah.
It's just been very up and down. I think it really comes down to the game plan. And some of the game plans where he's been very good, LSU, for instance, he's run wild on those teams. Then other teams that corral him, not been so good. So, it's hard to say. I mean, obviously, I'm not the Alabama guy. That's Jackson over here, who's yawning. How dare you yawn on this show? How dare you?
So, since we started with the SEC, let's go into the next, the second biggest SEC game of the week next week.
I want to push back on this. It says right here, I'm looking through Milroe. He only played in 4 games in 2021. So this would mean that he probably has another year of eligibility past this year.
Well, he didn't play in 2020. He was still in high school.
Right. But in 2021 was he was still in high school in 2020, right? So he graduated in 21.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like looking at his game log here, he should still have another year of eligibility.
Not at the University of Alabama. Just like another quarterback
I'm saying I think it might be best, certainly for him, and probably for Alabama as well, if they were to part ways after this year. But we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, that's a Well, a player does what he does.
Moving on to the next SEC big game next week. Let's talk about the Texas A&M game.
Yes.
The winner is in the SEC championship against Georgia. The loser is probably sitting on the couch next to Alabama watching the college football playoffs at home.
I don't know about Texas. If Texas
not Texas. Probably not Texas.
A&M for sure.
A&M for sure. They would. Yeah. They need a miracle at this point, as it is.
Thank you, Sean, for bitch slapping Spaz with false information there about Texas. So I thank you for that. But it is a huge game because Texas and Texas A&M haven't played in like 13, 14 years. We talked about earlier.
13 years.
Yeah. It's been a long time since they played, so it's going to be one of those. And it might be a sloppy game, a sloppy, nasty game.
November 24th today was the 13-year anniversary of the last time that Texas A&M played each other.
Yeah, and rumor I'm hearing from a lot of good inside sources at Texas that Quinn Ewer, this will be Quinn Ewers's last year, whether he goes somewhere else or whether he declares, because they're moving forward with the Arch Manning project. He just can't stay healthy, and he's injured again and supposed to have an MRI tomorrow. So
Yeah.
we'll see how bad he is. And most people inside the Texas boosters and stuff that I've gotten to know believe that he's moving on. If he doesn't get a high draft grade, he'll transfer because he will not be the starting quarterback next year.
No, and I agree with that. Like Texas has to move on. Texas has to move on to Arch after this year, no matter what. I think he's probably already better than Quinn. And yeah, Quinn, a Buckeye fan. He came in with a lot of fanfare, and there was a lot of drama surrounding his recruitment. And his early development, and how he was like he was a high drama person at Ohio State, and I don't think he is now. I think he's matured a lot, and I really wish the best for him.
So if he goes portal, does Ohio State jump at him?
No.
Do you think?
No. Wait.
You don't think so?
I don't know if you realize Ohio State has the number 1 quarterback from this past recruiting class and the number 2 quarterback from this upcoming class. So no, they're not going to pursue a 5th year, retread. It's not going to happen. But I've been following Quinn Ewers' progress, and I'm genuinely impressed with how he's developed as a human being. I really like him, and I'm really pulling for him, but he's not a great quarterback at this point in his career. And he, if he goes in the draft, I think he'll go 3rd round probably right now. I can't kind of think that's where he is as a prospect. And yeah, he'll be designated as a probable backup in the process. And I don't know. If he transfers to a lower level program, can he elevate his stock that much? Probably not.
No.
So, it's probably better for him to just kind of get on with his life and just move, I'm pulling for him because I do like these kind of stories. This guy was an immature young hotshot, and he's clearly matured and developed through the years.
He could help bridge the gap for Keelan Russell there in Alabama under Keelan's board.
Yeah,
very possible.
I don't know. It would be bridging the gap for a few games before, if he's going to stay in college, he needs to go to a place where he has some job security.
Yeah,
he's not going to go somewhere where he knows he's not going to start. That's would be stupid.
Well, like Darth Duck said, he could go to the school for injured quarterbacks, Utah.
No, Cam Rising's coming back for his 9th year. Shut up.
He's not.
All right. Well, we jumped to that. Let's focus on one thing here on the panel. Because Sean, Michigan just put up 50 on Port Northwestern, and you got to take them on. Your O-line has been a little banged up this year.
Very much.
How's the big game gonna go?
Yeah, the O-line being banged up, that's not the best spot to be in, where Michigan's strength of their team is right on their defensive front. I would say this is one of the few strengths that Michigan has as a team this year. Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham and Josiah Stewart, Derek Moore. Look, those guys are legit. That's a championship caliber defensive front they have. I think they'll find ways to mitigate it. The O-line has played well in spite of the injuries they've had. And I think they'll play well enough. Michigan's secondary sucks terribly. So if they get any time whatsoever, and they'll have time on occasion, we'll make plays. And I think the defense will probably hold Michigan's offense completely under wraps. But it is a sneaky trap game. It really is. I mean, it's a sandwich game. It's one of our, this Indiana game was an unexpected monster showdown, and we've got a game coming up against Oregon the next week. Can you really get up 3 weeks in a row? I don't know. It might set up nicely for another Oregon Mirage win.
Yeah, potentially, you have to win this game to face Oregon again.
Well, I'll say this: I don't think I don't think our defense is going to give up much against Michigan's offense. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Michigan's going to score in the 20s in this game. So the offense, even if they struggle, should find a way to pull this game out. I saw this game opened last Wednesday or Thursday at 23.5 for the point spread. So
what?
That's a big spread for a rivalry game, regardless.
That is a big spread, but it is in Columbus. So, and I mean, the team is going to be incredibly focused on this game. I don't think they're going to be looking ahead really at all. I mean, beating Michigan is as important, if not more important, than winning a Big Ten championship. So, and like I said, if Ohio State gets through this game, the game against Oregon is going to be the difference between the 1 seed and the 5 seed. And honestly, the 5 seed is probably preferable to the 1 seed this year. It's debatable. It's close.
Yeah. It's very debatable on both. There's points on both sides. Yeah.
One six on the 12 at home. The other gets a bye week.
You guys are a flat 20 right now. We're 19.5.
Yeah. Flat. What, against Michigan are you talking about?
Yeah. Right now, it's I have it as you guys are 20-point favorite. We're 19.5 against Washington.
Yeah, but
about the same.
Right.
Still pretty high for rivalry games.
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't watch much of the Michigan game this week. I was surprised to see that they, they dominated as much as they did. So
Northwestern is hell. So I mean,
yeah. I mean,
I'm not. Yeah, it's and plus I pretty much watched.
They haven't been that bad. They haven't been that bad this season, though. They've been okay-ish. I mean,
wow. If there's not enough ball eligible teams in that unlikely event, and Northwestern was to upset Illinois, they technically still have a shot at ball eligibility on account of the APR rules.
Yeah, Northwestern's always going to rank pretty highly in that.
Yep, they always do good in school.
So yeah. I mean, it's always a huge game when we play Michigan, but this is where I thought last year. I don't know how long it's going to be until Michigan-Ohio State is Michigan-Ohio State again. I mean, it might come, with this Underwood and with, I don't know, this Larry Ellison, pumping all this money into the program. Who knows? But, right now, this beating Michigan this year is not going to be special. It's going to be like beating them under Rich Rod.
Well,
You know,
Sean, you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about that because what you have to worry about is fucking Oregon. Yeah.
Hey,
You don't have to worry about Michigan. You don't have to worry about Michigan anymore.
I am not taking Michigan for granted. No, no.
Oh, you won't
No,
have
I
to
mean,
in the future.
I would
You just have to worry about getting an ass whooped by Oregon every year. Counter. Can we have an F-bomb counter in the chat? If anyone's
3 out of
paying
4.
attention? It's probably like 10,
Dilly
10 or
dilly.
11 now.
I'll give Ohio State 1 win every 4 years.
Blasphemy.
Against us.
Blasphemy.
We're coming to take over the big. We already have.
Yeah, we already are. What are you talking about?
Well,
We have to finish it off though.
you haven't even won a championship yet.
You're again. It's our conference. You're just allowed to play in it. So just watch your mouth and worry about Michigan.
Yeah.
Didn't we let you in on a discount? Weren't you guys
we're running this bitch. So yeah, that's what you get. Anyways, yeah, Oregon has to worry though this week. The one thing I think Oregon doesn't have to worry about this week, in the sense of Washington hasn't won a road game this year. Now it's at Oregon. It's not like they're going far, but you know.
Yeah, they are not winning 2 times in a row at Autzen. It just ain't gonna happen. Sorry about your damn luck, Husky fans, but
Hey, can we get Darth Ducky's latest or no, the one about the Ohio State wide receiver coach up there?
the what?
His comment about the Ohio State wide receiver coach.
Hold on. How far is it?
It's like 20, 30 comments up.
Oh God! Come on. Telling me. Why would you now mention it? You're an ass.
From an hour ago?
I'm not
right?
paying attention. I'm not paying attention to this every second of the day.
Oh, well, I know, but then why would you be looking at it now? With 30 comments up.
Yeah, because I have to do stuff. Because I have to do something when you're talking. All right, there we go. Yeah, that's Brian Hartline. He's an Ohio State alum who played for the Dolphins for about 7-8 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say 6-7 years.
Yeah. He was, and then
He's
came and rescued the program when Urban Meyer had that issue with Zach Smith, who obviously had to be fired at that moment. And he's one of the best position coaches in the country. And probably his allegiance to the university is a big part of why he has not been sniped.
He's not like Jim Harbaugh.
All right. Yeah. Hey, look. We already talked about this too. So I know Spaz gonna be overly confident. The problem with the Washington game for Oregon is that both teams have a bye week before the game. That's so it's good for Oregon to rest up, but Washington has time to prepare. And like we said, rivalry games, hey, shit happens, you know. It can get a little wild, but
I wonder.
I do want to say the first 2 Ohio State Michigan games that I remember at all are the 95 and 96 games where Ohio State was 20+ point favorites and lost back-to-back years.
it's again rivalry game
happens.
Yeah, weird stuff happens.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, of course, I don't see it happening this year, but with both teams having a bye week to prepare, and Jed Fish is a good coach. I just don't think he has the team right now to do.
No, he doesn't have the players.
Right now.
Give him a couple, 3 years, and he'll be there. Maybe, I think.
if he's still there. I mean,
if he
he's not.
stays.
Well, he's not getting Florida job apparently because Napier's
At least
still
not
there,
this
so.
year.
Maybe next year.
Maybe we'll see. I don't see Washington coming in and doing it. They're going to challenge. I think for a good. I'd say even a half. I'd say a half. They might challenge. Of course, it's a rivalry game, but I think at the end of the day, Oregon's rested.
I think
but
the same thing with Iowa State and Michigan. And if like Tony said up there, it plays out. This would be only the second time I think that there's a possibility that two teams could play each other 3 times in the year. I believe the last 2 were Alabama, Georgia. A few years back, did they not play 3 times during the season?
Who would have ever played 3 times? Who would have ever played 3 times?
Yeah,
they would have played during the regular season, their conference championship, and then.
Yeah, but no, Alabama and Georgia a couple years ago, that did not happen. They met for the first time in the conference
twice.
Championship. Yeah.
No one's. I don't think any
nobody's ever met
those.
3 times. Then.
I don't think that's ever happened in college football.
We should find out.
There's a first time for everything.
Honestly, it's more likely than not between Ohio State and Oregon right now that they're going to play 3 times.
Oh yeah, but would this be the first time ever?
Yes,
I think so. I would imagine. Yeah.
Once again, Spaz, there's a thing called Google.
I don't always run there.
If the chat can count our F-bombs, you can Google shit like that.
and they have an AI little assistance here, so you could say, have any 2 teams ever played 3 times in a single year?
And Dave's here. LSU, Bama, no, they didn't, because LSU won the regular season. Bama didn't play in the conference title, and then they played in the championship.
Yeah, they were both in the same division. They were both in the SEC West.
Yeah, they only played twice.
3 times in the same year in college football.
Mute yourself, you bitch. I'm sorry. Now I'm getting testy. It's late. God damn it, Spaz.
Yeah,
no.
There it is.
It's a no.
It's a no? Yeah.
This would be the first year.
Yeah, it was like twice, yes, but 3 times, like, no.
Yeah, I mean, like it probably won't even happen all that often now either. There'll probably be,
Yeah.
But these are like, I was going to ask Adam. I meant to ask him this while he was on. Like, what does he think the chances are that the national champion is anybody but Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, or Texas this year? Those 4 teams. Put those 4 teams against the field. Like, what is the chance somebody other than those wins right now?
I have to put Miami. I think Miami's better than Notre Dame.
But even like if you had the whole field outside of those 4 teams, what percentage chance would you give
the rest of the field?
Yeah,
20.
Yeah, seems about right.
That's tough. That's really tough.
It's going to be hard for a group of 5, but we all know that Notre Dame's done it. We know that, like, Alabama's and Tennessee's and some of those other teams have, Clemson's have all won natties before, so it wouldn't be outside of the realm of possibility that one of those teams in that 6 to 12 bracket could win it. But the probability of it is probably 20%.
I would give SMU a better shot, at least to win a game than Miami, to be honest.
What chance are you giving SMU to win a national title?
No, I said to win a game, not win it. Like all. I'm saying that because Miami's defense sucks. We've already established this. SMU has a better freaking defense than Miami.
But Miami definitely has a better chance to win the national title than my SMU does.
Why?
I just think they're a better team. They're more experienced.
Because they've got they've got just higher in talent.
Yeah, but they have to score 50 points to win the damn game.
Yeah. I mean,
they have to go against better
Restrepo and Cam Ward and
just imagine.
Backs they have.
But I'm saying they're both very low percentage chances. Like they're both like maybe less than a % chance of winning the national title.
I'm just saying, I would give SMU a better chance to win a playoff game than Miami, even because Miami.
That's a good one.
50.
Dark Ducky's newest one is great.
Yeah. All right, fine. I'll just pull it because Spaz always reads the chats, and I'm like, God damn it, Spaz, stop reading the chat. I tell him this like 5 times a week, and he still does it. All right. Anyways, any other game we want to touch on quickly because it's been 2.5 hours plus, and I got to get in 4.5 hours as usual.
What do you give Tennessee a shot? Does anybody give them a shot of making the CFP?
Well, yeah, win and you're in, kid. That's how it works.
No, they'll get in. I'm just
I
don't think their offense is good enough right now. I don't know. It's too gimmicky right now. I don't think they can win more than like a game in the playoffs right now.
I definitely think they could win an 8-9 matchup.
Yeah, they could definitely for sure win one of those, but they're a team too.
Then
like
you got to go to number one, and whether that's Ohio State or Oregon. Yeah.
They're a team too. Like I think advanced preparation hurts them because they run such a gimmicky scheme offensively. You know, those wide splits and stuff. You know, like if you have a couple weeks to prepare for that, or it's not nearly the task that that it is on a short week here. So.
Yeah,
it's hard to say. It's hard to say, but yeah, I mean, is there a possibility to get in there? Still,
pretty doggone good.
Yeah, they are. Their defense is pretty doggone good. There's no question about that. But I would think teams that are a little bit more stable offensively. Offensive teams, I think, have a little bit more of an advantage over defensive teams, and I don't like their offensive setup going into a playoff scenario.
Well, and I will say this about Georgia's defense. They give up 200 yards on the ground yesterday to Massachusetts. Is that a concern going forward, do you think, Jackson?
About who we've got on the schedule?
No, for Georgia.
Georgia?
They gave up a couple hundred yards on the ground.
I could see Georgia Tech being a scary team for Georgia next Friday.
Yeah.
Based off that UMass performance that, was close. It was 30-21 at one point. And UMass was just running up and down the field. Student body left, student body right,
Right, and I've said it about Georgia the whole year. Like, I just don't think this team has the maturity to put it all together and win and make a deep run in the playoffs. Especially, you have to win like 4 tough games in a row. No,
but it's
I don't trust this staff. I don't trust this team. I don't trust this program at any level right now. This program is a mess. So.
But Kirby seems to bring it when the chips are down. Yeah, look what he did to Texas.
But can you do that like 3-4 weeks in a row? I don't know. Like I feel like this team will get high on their own supply because of a great performance one week and then just dud the next week. You know, that's just where I feel.
Especially if they have to go into areas like, you know, if they have to come up and face a northern team like us, you know, it's a different kind of climate, weather, outdoors.
Yep.
You know, there's a lot of different parameters that teams like Georgia and Tennessee and others aren't used to playing in.
Right.
There's a bunch of stuff we gotta look at. Yeah,
I can guarantee you Tuesday night, you're going to be shocked at some of the teams still being ranked in the top 12 that you would think shouldn't be, but they're in anyhow.
Missouri. Or no, the top 12, but 12-25 in Missouri. Jesus.
I know, right? Yeah, because it's like if they're keeping Missouri at the top 25 and disrespecting SMU, what makes me think they're not going to do something stupid on Tuesday?
Yeah, I mean, all right. Anyway, anything final thoughts quickly, gentlemen? Literally like 3 minutes tops, and then I'm shutting this motherfucker down. F-bomb count, by the way, chat.
I'm good.
F-bomb count.
All good. Just getting ready for tomorrow's edition of Crimson Tide Live with Stephen M. Smith and Kyle Loomis tomorrow afternoon on Alabama at the Voice of College Football.
Oh yeah, by the way, Ben, I now have access to Vernon Adams myself, and I did message him once.
That sounds wrong. Don't bother Vernon Adams. Why would you bother Vernon Adams?
Why would you
waited
announce
till
it
late
on
last
air?
night just because of I put a message out for other folks.
Anyways, yeah, definitely ever want to go check out the.
No. You didn't ask me for my last thoughts, and my last thoughts are.
No one cares. That's why. No one cares. That's why.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say it anyway. Yeah, fuck that team up north. Even though they're south of where I live right now, still fuck that team up north.
So you're saying Ohio State education is not that great?
Fuck that team up north.
That's right. I say the same thing, Sean. Fuck that team up north because we're gonna bury them bitches.
All right. We're just dropping F-bombs like crazy now. Chat, where's my counter? Come on. Dependent on people like Troy. He's failing us. Anyways. All right. Well, everyone, it is officially
the witching hour.
Oh no, it's officially hate week, which means it's officially end of the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy shit.
This is absolutely nuts, isn't it? We spent all this goddamn time like just waiting, and then the season arrives and it's gone like that.
I'm depressed now. Thanks, Sean. You asshole. Oh, I'll blame Sean. Everyone blame Sean.
Do your meditations in the morning. You'll be fine. Come on.
Womp womp.
Well, you'll make peace with the world.
Womp womp. Oh man.
Say the line.
No.
It's the women's basketball.
Hey, there's still men's basketball. There's still college wrestling, swimming. Hey, come on.
All right, I don't know why you want to watch. Well, I don't know why you want to watch all these shirtless men or sweaty men wrestling each other. I don't know what's going on there. Sean.
Wait. Ben, you don't know why I want to watch that?
Oh,
I'm not watching it. You are.
No. Delete.
All right, that seems like a great time to get the hell out of here.
yeah. This is why you don't stay up at
I'm-
1 a.m., children.
Yeah, I'm literally gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. That's such an angry text from Mark. Wait.
Have a good
What
one,
the-
everybody. Fuck off.
Wait,
Wow.
no.
Way to do that prematurely
damn it,
before we
Guys,
have
we
anything
haven't set
lined
the
up.
line yet.
Yeah, I was like, wait a, I'm not in the right folder. Apparently, that or someone removed it. Did someone remove that shit from the folder?
No.
Oh, we're in the wrong folder. Jackson, that's your fault.
How's that my fault?
Or no, wait. Are we?
Fire.
Someone got rid of Pop-Tart.
No.
Someone got rid of Pop-Tart.
No, they didn't.
There we go. I found it. All right. Anyways, it wasn't in the video. It's the overlay. All right. Well,
Wait. Has Spaz ever done this, or does he know the actual?
oh God, no. Spaz knows nothing. All right.
Get the Pop-Tart out. Get the
Like, comment,
Pop-Tart
subscribe.
out.
God damn it, Spaz. Like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you never miss another video. Let's get the voice of college football to 100,000 subs.
That's right.
There we go. And tell all your friends, your family this Black Friday about the historical 1990s reset disputed national champions from Mark Rogers himself.
And always every Sunday night, join us here on the main channel for College Football After Dark. And God damn, I can't wait for 3 Pop-Tarts on the Pop-Tart Bowl. Oh my God.
Wonder what they're gonna do to the ref together. That's what I'm thinking.
The videos after this, and the memes.
Sandwich.
Yes, let's freaking go. Spaz, I'll give you the honor.
Threesome.
I'll give you the honors tonight.
Jesus Christ.
God damn it, Spaz. I'll give you the honor. I'll give you the honors. Shh, call us out. Call us the outro, Spaz.
Yeah.
You've been here enough to know how it goes.
How much weed have you smoked?
It's been
man?
it's 4 words.
Play us out, Pop-Tart.
There we
Well, yeah, now
Fair enough.
Close enough. Shit.
Oh man.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
that
wait.
Pop-Tart threesome coming. Yeah.
I can't wait for the
Oh
blueberry
yeah.
to get involved.
Gonna some 3rd-degree burns on the hand in the morning.
He
Yeah.
likes it round and crispy.
Ooh.
Oh man.
I love
They don't ever do it though.